Hey ho people, welcome to another fantastical gaming news from UnitLost.com. That's right, I almost forgot where I come from. We've got Stylos and we've got Kiriov because that's who we always ever have on gaming news. And as ever, we've got all the gaming news, son. All the gaming news. What an outlandish claim. All of it, got all of it.
Every single bit of news there ever was.
And ever will be. Indeed. So, what we're going to do is we are going to chuck away the stupid what happened on this date, what happened on that date, because to be honest, not much really happened apart from Skyrim and Modern Warfare. There are a few little bits and pieces that I think Mr. Kiriov was saying to me in the little pre-recording garbage we like to talk to each other. He'd like to say a few words about Duke Nukem Forever.
Yes. Well, it is news because it's actually something that they have said, they've published. Gearbox have come out. The co-founder, Brian Martell, I think that's how I pronounce that last name, Martell. Sounds like he belongs in some sort of gang. But he has suggested that Duke Nukem Forever was not reviewed fairly, sir. And he's declared that everybody should be really thankful that it existed to some degree at all. I disagree with that. He's also stated...
Hang on a minute. Everybody should be really thankful that it existed to some degree at all. What?
That's not all, though, son. That's not all. That's just one of the outlandish claims he's made, right? The other one, and this is the one that makes me laugh, and it's only until the 8th time I read it that I stopped being unable to say it for laughing. The last time I had a really solid experience like this was Half-Life 2.
What was this guy's name again? What was his name?
Brian Martell.
So, Brian Martell, you are a fucking dickhead. Don't ever make a game again. Leave your position at Gearbox. You're just an absolute... I mean, if this has been done just for publicity, then fair enough, but he probably hasn't, because the game was terrible.
If he honestly, the last time he had a gameplay experience compared to Duke Nukem Forever was Half-Life 2. I can only suggest that since then he's been dropped on his face because there's no other way. Several times. It's amazing. It's actually amazing. You could put this guy in a zoo and he could say this stuff all day and people could pay to come and hear it. It's incredible. Oh, Brian.
Brian. Why, Brian? Why? The guy's crazy. I mean, that game, I don't even want to talk about that game. It's just sick. It makes me sick in the mouth, and it's terrible, bloke. Well, I mean, I'll tell you what, let's just quickly recap what's happened. I'll just blast through it. So, some crazy bought Modern Warfare for $1,700, bloke. Would you like to comment on that?
4 days before its retail release, and this copy turned up on eBay, and apparently someone bought it for $1,725.
You remember my previous comments about Brian? Well, they applied to the guy who bought that game as well.
Yeah. So either someone's taking the piss, which I really hope is true, but then again, knowing some of Modern Warfare's fan base, I really wouldn't put it past someone to do this. But I suppose if you've got that kind of money and you don't have to spend it on, I don't know, a house, a car,
or
a
anything.
Woman.
Yeah,
you could buy Modern Warfare 3 for nearly 2,000, but
it's terrible, bloke. Terrible damage of the highest order. The next thing was there was a load of Mass Effect 3 leaked screenshots. There was Space Marine is coming out with its first paid DLC. It's coming out in December. 6,000 copies of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 were stolen in armed robbery. Hilarious. BioWare hinted at a new IP. You can play Battlefield 3 on Skyrim's launch date for prizes. I don't know how relevant that is anymore. The best post on UnitLost.com, which I will read in its entirety, is from Rico. And it says, Skyrim, are you excited? This bad boy's out tomorrow. Have you pre-ordered? Have you read the reviews? Are you even getting the Epic Game of the Year? Well, and then he swears. I'm not going to swear because that's not our role. Well, F you if you haven't. Sorry. Well, F you if you aren't excited by the game. We at Unit Lost will be away taking control of the soul of the Dovahkiin, however the hell you spell it. I'm busy wading our way through these deep, damp caves in order to find precious armour and weapons. Well, I think Mr. Rico, he's He's on to a winner there. Although he needs to capitalise his letters. We'll get on to him about that. Generally, when you use a full stop or a question mark, you come with a... But whatever.
It was the excitement. It was just the excitement. You could feel the excitement through the post. It was just...
Then we have got the Indie Royals second bundle with a load of indie games in. Night Sky, Fate of the World, Scoregasm, and Ben There, Dan That, apparently. And hilariously at the bottom of the post he's put ketchup Indie Royal. Loving your work, Reed. Go, loving your work. And then there was the Dice Hunter, which was the last post on the site up until today, which was a guy who just went around slashing everybody playing.
It's been small stuff.
The developers. So, however, there are 2 points on this. And to begin with, we will talk about Modern Warfare 3, right? Now, I have played Modern Warfare 3. I don't own Modern Warfare 3. However, my mate Dave does own it, and well, I had a little go of it, let's say. I am not... Well, let's put it this way. It's the same graphics engine that's in Call of Duty 4, which was the first Modern Warfare, which came out in 2007. The graphics were acceptable at that point. However, in 2011, it is not acceptable. It's terrible. I mean, the weapons don't have recoil, which is... Well, that's a lie. They kind of do have recoil, but it's not much. You know, it's like you could literally go full auto on somebody and it doesn't matter. Which then leads me to another point. You can... Because I only did the start. I did the first mission, which I think you have to take out a radar tower on the New York Stock Exchange. But you get a minigun on a Black Hawk and it never, ever, ever overheats and has no recoil. It just constantly... And it don't run out of bullets. It just keeps firing. It's like... Excuse me. And there are other little stupid things like where you get the... if you bring up the iron sight, so you press the right mouse button, you're looking down your scope, you only have to press it once and it's permanently on. That's like remnants of the Xbox controller, you know, where you press a button and it'll bring up your scope, then you press it to bring it down. Whereas PC games, you should be holding it down, you know, and as soon as you take your finger off it, it comes off. Obviously, a bit dodgy. And let me just rant a little bit about the way it actually works in regards to its... well, the way they shaft PC gamers. Now, they did put a little bit of news out where they were going on about, yeah, we've actually, you know, we're focusing a bit more on the PC gaming crowd. They haven't. I mean, you do have dedicated servers now, which is more you can say from the last couple of Modern Warfares. But the problem is the dedicated servers are unranked, so you can't actually rank up on a dedicated server. The only way to rank up, you know, it's the same kind of the same system as Battlefield 3, where you know you get promoted through the ranks, you get different weapons unlocks and all that stuff. You can't actually do that on a dedicated server, so you have to use the matchmaking, which is just a peer-to-peer matchmaking, you know, so you could end up on the most... Well, imagine if you, Mr. Kirioff, had the game and hosted it on your current internet line, you know, which isn't very good. It would just
totally... very good. It's made of wood.
It's just made of wood and oak and bits of broken glass. And it's like, it would be rancid, it would be so laggy and terrible. And I thought, well, that's quite bad. And the reasons they gave for this were, well, the PC is an insecure platform. But then hilariously, as people have pointed out, and I've no doubt people listening to this will also know about, is you only need to look at the Modern Warfare leaderboards and you could see people who were blatantly hacking. This is on the Xbox, like, you know, with millions of points. It's like... This
is something that I was going to mention whilst we were talking about Modern Warfare 3. I watched a video this morning from Yogscast, and it was Lewis playing Modern Warfare 3. And there was a guy, they were playing that stupid kill confirmed mode.
Oh, where the dog tags drop, yeah.
Yeah, there was a guy at the end who had 64 kills, no deaths, and 4 assists. Now, the game has been out for not very long. Let's put it in diplomatic terms. It's not been around a great deal. It's a new release. So the fact that someone is actually blatantly hacking for headshots, 2 people on the same team were basically hacking and had every shot was a headshot. They were, as soon as they turned and they saw someone, the crosshair immediately over someone's head.
Was this PC or Xbox?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. But either way,
they tend to do both, don't they? But whatever, that's bad.
That's really bad.
The whole way the multiplayer set up though is quite bad on that game. I mean, even with the kill confirm thing, which is, well, every map, it's like really... Because, let me just tell you, I played Battlefield 3, and it got me back into FPS again, and I thought, you know, I want a good solid I kind of like the close quarters fighting, like Counter-Strike style of thing. And I thought I might get Modern Warfare 3. And I was almost on the verge of buying it on Steam, paying the stupid price Steam has for it. And I never did. And the reason why I didn't do it is because I was reading into it at the time, and I've seen all these things about, you need to be on the peer-to-peer matchmaking system to rank up, and I just thought, no, I'm not playing that. But the game is like a massive, massive clusterfuck. I was watching clips of people playing it, because obviously it's out now, and the kill confirm, any mode, basically, you die. But you die and you spawn so fast, it's like, you don't even know you've died. You're just basically running around, trying to shoot as many people as possible. You're dead, it don't matter, I'm back in the game. Or it don't matter, I'm back in the game. And you can see how that can appeal to people, because, if you compare it to something like Counter-Strike, or even Battlefield, which has got like a little spawn retime thing, you don't instantly respawn on Battlefield. You may do on certain servers if they've changed the settings and whatnot, but like on your typical Conquest server, you won't. Counter-Strike, you definitely don't, because you're dead for the round. But Call of Duty, you're instantly back, and it's like, you can see how that appeals to a lot of people. No downtime, straight in the game, and it's not very good. It's like, but anyway, I never bought it. As I said, Dave, cheers for letting me play it, but for buying it.
I think it's the bit I've said before. The biggest problem I have with it is I look at this
David bastard. Anyway.
The biggest problem I have is I look at Modern Warfare 3 and I look at Black Ops and look at Modern Warfare 2 and I see the first Modern Warfare. I don't see any development. I don't see anything, any graphical improvements, any gameplay improvements.
In fact, there was a clip I got tweeted on Twitter, and I sent it out on Twitter, and a couple of people retweeted it. It was a building from Modern Warfare, the first one, so Call of Duty 4, off one of the multiplayer maps, is in Modern Warfare 3. It's actually in the game. It's just got a slightly different colour. And the hilarious thing is, the building actually looked better in the first Modern Warfare. Like, it had better textures on the wall. In this one, it was worse, and I was like, that is crazy. And also, Toy Town on the Unit Lost forums, he put a screenshot up of he's got the game and it crashed. And the error message was like, Modern Warfare 2 has stopped working. Copy and paste for the win, lads.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? The whole thing. It's all copy and paste. There's nothing new, and that's. Until something new comes along, I just can't get interested in Call of Duty anymore. It
just won't, will it? Because it sells so much in its current state. All they do is just keep rehashing it and sending it out. The only thing that'll make them redevelop will be a new console, because they make so much money off the Xbox and the PlayStation. Why would they ever change the format? It doesn't make much. It's not very good business sense. However, it's not all bad. I mean, the mission I played, it's typical Call of Duty, massively over the top, but I guess you could kind of play through I would play through the single player campaign, because it's kind of like being in a crap, B action movie, straight to video type of thing, but it's like totally over the top, and it's kind of enjoyable in a dumb kind of way. Whereas Battlefield 3 single player was quite bad. That was terrible. It's a good job Battlefield is, multiplayer focused, because that single player game was absolutely terrible. For something that is like a AAA title, to come out with that quality of story writing was absolutely horrendous. You got to give it to Modern Warfare. It's totally over the top. Everybody's getting bombed. There's all kinds of stuff going on. But that's the only saving grace for the game. I'd say the rest of it is quite bad.
I think that's the one thing I'd say is uniformly quite true, that Call of Duty tends to have decent single player. It's always stupid. Even just the first Modern Warfare, the single player was ridiculous, but it's engaging at the same time. It's at the very least, it's funny.
But the first Modern Warfare, we played quite a lot. I remember playing that, and I don't know why the others ain't the same. With the same PC support, because people would still play them. You see the LAN events in the UK. At the I-43, and I guess at the I-44, and probably at every other Insomnia LAN festival there is, they always have a Call of Duty Modern Warfare competition. So it's like, why didn't you keep developing it? But I guess it just comes down to, they think, well, we're not going to make that much money off the PC, just focus on the Xbox. But whatever. Modern Warfare 3 is it's a copy and paste game with a stupid over the top single player. It's got an absolute ton of multiplayer modes though, but they're all stupid. They're just massive clusterfucks. It's like, it probably works okay on a console. Now this is the thing, because I don't actually I don't own a console, and the last console I really owned and played games on was a PlayStation 1, when that was relevant. I mean, how many years ago was that? You know, so it's like
showing your age now. So
yeah, I don't really. I quickly moved from PC like as soon as I came off the PlayStation. You know, I never even had a PlayStation 2 or anything like that. So I don't. Consoles are kind of, you know, that's not saying I don't play on consoles, because I have played like Pro Evo football and a couple of beat 'em up games and whatever. But you know, I don't know how it works on a console. But I would imagine first person shooter games quite bad. Oh no, actually, having said that, I did watch a clip of. There was a guy playing it on the Xbox, and I noticed all kinds of stuff that was coming up. This is on my dodgy partner channel research thing, like going around having a look at all the channels. What are you doing? What are you doing? And I noticed this thing would come on the screen, and I think it was right button or left button on the Xbox controller, and it would lock on. Like you only needed to aim sort of in the general direction of somebody, and then you press that and it just locked on. I was like, surely so that's an aimbot.
That's something that I just don't understand about consoles in the first place. I've recently been trying to play Mass Effect 2 on the Xbox, which a mate of mine lent me, and I've already completed it on the PC, but I no longer have the PC copy. I lost it, and I'm not buying it again. So you know, it's like, well, I'd like to play it. I'm not going to pirate it. I know somebody's got it. I'll borrow it off him. The difference for a game like that between PC and Xbox, I'll be honest, I'm useless at it on the Xbox. I'm not going to play it, because when you're trying to do first-person shooting, or third-person shooting in that case, not having a mouse is like, it's almost like having some sort of
disability.
Yeah. That's.
I guess the problem is though, when you're brought up on something which is arguably better, more accurate. Well, it is. It's better and more accurate and faster than what a console is. It's like that age-old thing of, you know, you could sit there with your graphics card and play games happily on medium, but as soon as you go around to your friend's house and you see him playing on ultra, you're like, what the hell? You know, you want them graphics settings. It's kind of the same thing, I think, where you don't realise there's something better until you've actually used it. Yeah. I mean, if you were just a console gamer, you would never ever think a mouse was too sensitive. I mean, when members of my family use my computer, or if they, you know, using their computers or whatever, well, typically if they use my computer, they touch the mouse. It's like, whoa, this is too sensitive. It's like, it's not. In fact, it's quite low. I mean, I know your mouse is miles more sensitive than mine.
Yeah, it's quite funny. Whenever Kat tries to use my PC, like she'll sit down on the chair, she'll put her hand on the mouse, move it, and the cursor will just fly off the screen. And she'll go, what the hell is this? And it's like, that's how I have my mouse. And it's, to other people, it's probably really, really odd, but I've got so used to it now, I can't have it any lower because it just feels slow and drudgy, and that's what gaming on a console feels like to me. Slow and drudgy and just, oh, come on.
Anyway, so that's enough on Modern Warfare. The other release was Skyrim. Now, I'll tell you the little tale. I got Skyrim on Steam. Actually, talking about Steam, the other major news is Steam got hacked and blitzed, so change your password. And hope you haven't had your credit card ripped off.
They don't, at the moment, they're saying they don't think any credit card details have been compromised. They don't think that bit has been
It's better to be safe than sorry, though, isn't it?
It is better to be safe. If you can't... I've yet to find a way to remove my card off Steam, to be honest with you, so I'm not really sure if there's a way to do it, but if you're able to cancel the card or, you know, do something like that, then it's probably worth it, because Steam is not something you want to get hacked.
At least keep your eyes on it, because you know, I know my Steam account's got a bit of win. I know my Steam account's quite big, and it would be quite bad if that went missing, or, you know, my bank account started to get raided. So just keep your eyes on it. Anyway, I've got Skyrim on Steam, and again, I hate these stupid bloody uninternational these like international release dates. I guess Skyrim was launched on the 11th of the 11th of the 11th, yeah? Obviously, it's the 11th of the 11th of the 11th in Australia before it is in the UK by quite a lot. You know, by like 12 hours, you know, well, almost 12 hours or whatever it was. So, what does a lad with half a brain do who's absolutely gagging to play Skyrim? Well, he just goes and gets a free VPN, an Australian VPN, loads up Steam and clicks the play button. That's basically what I did. I mean, I had a lot of people messaging me over Steam. Whoa, how are you playing Skyrim? You know, and hilarious comments on a couple of the Skyrim videos that I've gone up on the channel so far. Oh, is this illegal? It's not illegal. Although, do not use a VPN and buy things off Steam, because I believe that is illegal and you will get absolutely fucked for fraud. You probably have your account shut down. But for unlocking purposes, I've done it quite a few times now, and I don't understand why they don't give the option to do it. I know it was a marketing stunt by Bethesda, and it's like 11th, but we're in the digital age, like everybody's connected, ain't they? And it's like, if one group of people can play the game, why can't the others? And it goes back to the thing from Rock Paper Shotgun, the no oceans hashtag. I think it's no oceans. Where they go on about the different launch dates around the world. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about Skyrim. So, the start of the game is miles better than Oblivion. Oblivion start, like, you just get Captain Picard talking to you. You're running around a dungeon, then he gets slashed, and it's like, oh, emerge out the sewers. Okay, fair enough. Skyrim is a lot better than that, and I won't spoil it for you because that's obviously quite dodgy, but it is a lot better, and it obviously involves dragons and craziness like that. A lot more involved, like, and you work your way through the start area, and yeah, it's pretty good. Some of the graphics look quite dated. Now the problem is, when you had Oblivion, effectively a launch title on Xbox 360, it looked really good. It was like, oh, this looks really good. I think Oblivion came out in 2006, I think that's when the Xbox came out. I know it was Game of the Year, because they always are. And it looked really good, and you were like, oh my god, this looked really, really good. Like, even on the PC, well, obviously it looked good on the PC. But it doesn't quite give you that impact to begin with, because it's like, oh, look at that texture, it looks a bit dodgy. Oh, that looks like you could easily argue that looks like the same thing from Oblivion. Like, that doesn't look very good. However, some areas look absolutely amazing, and I was in a barrow den, and there was this massive shaft, like, coming from the roof of the place, going straight down to the bottom. And I looked up at it, and the graphics looked absolutely amazing. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, you could turn around and look at the door you've just come through, and it looks like it fell out of Oblivion. It's like, oh, okay. But and then, talking about the environment, when you get outside into the open world, that looks pretty good. The mountains look amazing. The mountains look crazy.
I have to say, I've been watching videos on it like an absolute addict, because I've not managed to get my hands on it yet, but I have to say, every time they turn around and look at the mountains, it's like, the way they've done that is really, really good. The way the clouds sort of sit on the top of the mountain, and the way the snow sort of reflects the light and things, it hides the fact that the graphics aren't quite as good as you'd sort of thought they would be, if that's the way to say it. It's like,
yeah, you might look around. Like clever use of the particle effects, basically. I think that's what it is. Because, the textures are still going to be the same. But because a door or a table hasn't got all this fancy stuff over it, it just looks a bit cheap, and it's like, oh, it's the same with like the items. Like, when you're holding like a shield or a sword, you can kind of tell, the texture resolution doesn't look that good, but they have designed this for the consoles. That's in mind, during the development. They did say that they were thinking about waiting until the next generation of consoles came out, but they decided no, now was the time to do it. But putting all that console PC argument aside, it is really good. It's like, it's your typical Elder Scrolls game. You can do anything you like, and you get this. Sometimes you get some stupid things that go on, like you get the. What did I have? I became Thane of a place because I'm a killer, right? Like, basically, I was like a lord of a town, and I had this woman called, I think her name was Lydia. She was like my bitch. She'd follow me around, like, do my bidding. But she'd like get stuck sometimes. Like, she'd be behind me. I want to go back. Like, I'd run into a room and I'm like, no, I want to go out this room. I turn around and she's just standing there in the door. And it's like, get out the frigging way, Lydia. But she wouldn't move. So I'd have to step back to make her follow, then go through. Little things like that. Kind of a little bit of an annoyance side. But like, I've only played it for nearly 6 hours. And I still can't really, I'm going to have to play it for a considerable amount more time to give any kind of verdict, or even giving a verdict on it's stupid. But from what I can tell, it looks ridiculous. There was a point, right, where I come out of a town, there's this chap standing by a bridge. No, let me tell you before what happened. The sister of this bloke said she'll show me to a certain place, right? And I said, okay then, show me, right? Well, My intentions, sir, were to absolutely horribly, horrifically murder her, right, when we got out of view of everybody. So she's showing me to this place, yeah. She walks over to this bridge, and I absolutely shoveled it, right. I just murdered her, right. It was dead funny. She was like, I yield! And I was like, no, you don't. Whack, straight in the back of her head, she's gone. Looted her body. Right, just left her there, like, naked on the floor sort of thing. Then I carried on my merry way. Anyway, I come back a bit later on, yeah. Her corpse is still there on the floor, and there's this elf guy, right. And to me, it looks as if the elf has committed a crime. Obviously he hasn't, because I've massacred the woman, an hour before or whatever. Anyway, this elf guy's there. I clicked on the elf guy, and he didn't really seem to care that there was a corpse next to him. Like, this is the kind of the cheesiness of like the Elder Scrolls. It's like I'm talking to him, and he's just like, "Oh, how you doing? Would you like some bow training?" He's not like, "Oh shit, there's a dead body on the floor. Tell the guards." He's just like, "Oh, you want some training?" And I thought, I can't allow this to go on because this guy, he knows too much. So I massacred him, right? I completely blitzed him all over the place, robbed him, and he had quite a lot of gold on him. But I did take some bow training off him before I killed him, obviously. And then massacred him. And then I carry on my merry way, son. And then I get a guy running up to me, like a courier, and I thought, oh, here we go. This is a Dark Brotherhood. It wasn't a Dark Brotherhood. It was just a guy called Sven who sent me a letter and he said he knows what I've done. I was like, what? So it looks like I've got another witness to my heinous crime. I'm going to have to go and blitz old Sven when I find him. But I mean, the world looks massive. It looks totally massive. Like, I mean, I've only really explored a little bit of it, and it just looks ridiculous, like massive. It's hard to talk about it when it's like I just want to go and play it. It was a struggle to do gaming news today, to be quite honest, because I just want to go and play Skyrim. I look at my friends list. In fact, I look at my friends list now, and it's like
I've stopped looking at my Steam friends list because I'm the only one out of about 18 people at the moment I can see who just doesn't have it yet. Because there's no point. I can't get hold of it in terms of downloading it at the moment. So it's like, what do I do? Do I wait for the weekend? I have to wait for the weekend. But it means every time I go to my friends list, there's hundreds of people all playing Skyrim, and people keep messaging you, oh, have you played it? And I'm sat there going, no. Don't talk to me whilst you're playing that game. Get out of my face.
There's actually somebody playing Team Fortress 2 on my list. The rest are playing Skyrim. And the rest are just online. Amazing. Crazy, but it does look really good. I mean, I think it's probably going to be Game of the Year. It would be... I mean, the very first dungeon I went into. Now I say very first, which is kind of stupid because you can do whatever the hell you like. But the town I went to and the quest I got off a guy to go into this barrow dens, the dungeon looked absolutely fantastic from outside. It was like, this place is massive. How much effort have they put into this place? And it's only for one, arguably one quest. And I cleaned it out, and I was like, this is crazed. This is absolutely crazed. I mean, it was like up a mountain, looked crazed. It was like, what the hell? It's just ridiculous, like. And I haven't seen anything that looks the same so far, which is good. Like, in Oblivion, there'd be about 100 caves all the same.
There's something you said earlier about you've only played it for 6 hours or so you can't really give you just want to keep playing it, but it also means you can't give like a proper good indication of sort of what's going on. Yeah. And that's kind of reminded me of something where when we completed Space Marine, we said that it was good, but it was too short because it was only like 3 hours, if that.
Yeah.
Something that always amazes me. It amazed me in Oblivion, and it's probably going to amaze me in Skyrim if what people have said is, anything like the truth. There are so many games at the moment where you pay 30 quid, you get, anywhere between 3 and 10 hours out of the single player.
10 hours is usually a push out of single players.
Yeah, and then you've got like maybe a bit of multiplayer tacked onto the side in the way of a 4-player co-op survival, which is, the the flavour of the month for tacked on multiplayer these days. When you look at Skyrim, I mean, I was reading the RPS, the Rock Paper Shotgun review as well, and he said he'd played hours and hours and hours of it, and he's not even done any of the main quests. Like, he's not even touched the main quest line. And that's the story. I mean, it's just the amount of content you get in the Elder Scrolls games is absolutely mind-blowing when you actually compare it to anything else on the market. There is nothing else that big. And it just strikes me that actually...
Well, I guess there is. I guess there is things that are that big, but whether they're AAA titles, I don't know. And also, you got the argument of like all the procedurally generated stuff isn't actually it's not like they've designed all the content in Skyrim. So, I know you've got the radial radiance or whatever the hell it is, AI crap, where people act differently to, and decisions have an effect on the world and all that stuff. But they have still gone around and designed every single aspect of it, and that's what's impressive, and that's what you'd expect from, they're not a small company, are they? They've got hundreds of millions and they can develop these titles. That's what you should be seeing. That's why it pissed me off with Battlefield 3. They should have had a really good single player. But going back to how much you spend on a game, I mean, I have, time-wise, I've spent nearly 30 hours playing Battlefield 3 now. So whatever, I think I paid $39.99 for it because I got it off Origin. And, so I'm almost at £1 an hour so far now. But, I will ultimately play that for hundreds of hours when, you come back to me this time next year. Oblivion is I've played it for Steam says 5 hours, but I think it's very close to 6 hours. I'll play that probably for 8 hours today. And then I'll play it all weekend, and then I'll probably play it on Monday, and it's what the hell? Loads and loads of content. But Oblivion, it does have the little niggles I've come across so far. Oh, Oblivion. They go on about Oblivion all the bloody time, because Oblivion's the rant who plays it. In Skyrim, the couple of niggles I've got with it the UI is clearly a console UI. When you bring up it's a little bit clunky. And what annoys me is when it's got options that pop up and it's OK, an exit, or accept an exit. It'll say OK, and next to it, it'll say enter. And then it'll say quit, and next to it, it'll say tab. And it's that doesn't really need to be there, because you can click on them options with your mouse. And, once it's told you once, you don't need to be told every single time that tab is exit. And tab brings up your item list, and no, I think it brings up your selection wheel thing. But again, it's you can see how it's a console UI, and that kind of pissed me off a bit. But yeah, I can sort of just look over that, although it does piss me off a bit. And the difficulty setting. Now, I've got it on master, which is the hardest difficulty. I am quite hard. I was going in with a sword and board build. That's how I did the very first dungeon I did. So I've got a sword and a shield. And you can when you bring the shield up, you can do a shield attack. So you can push him back with a shield and it knocks him off balance. So you can kind of time your attacks. If you see they're going in for a heavy attack, try and knock them off balance and give them a couple of quick hits. So the combat's a lot better than Oblivion was. Oblivion ever was. And I was doing okay. Some of it was slightly difficult. They give me a good fight. I'm having to use potions, stamina potions, health potions and all that stuff. Then I get to the end of the dungeon, and the Overlord, well, he gets out of his coffin bloke, and he was not happy with what I'd done to his dungeon place. So I thought, well, okay, he's the Overlord, man. He's obviously got the answers. Come over to me, and he absolutely shoveled me, and I was like, oh, I had nothing on him. He just totally killed me, and I thought, well, I'll give this another go. So I come back. He does the same again. I'm like, well, I'll give it another go. Does the same again. I'm like, oh, this is quite bad. So then I thought, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just explore the area where the old Overlord guy is a bit. I found a scroll to summon a Storm or Tark for something crazed. And I thought, all right then. I'll summon this all over the Overlord guy, see what he makes of that. And it absolutely hammered him. And I was like, oh, I see that was the answer now. But it went from being not hot, not easy, but I'd say, even though it's on master difficulty, it was medium difficulty to me, to being massively hard, because this guy was I couldn't kill him. There's no way I could kill him in my current state, 1v1 against him. He would just kill me. It was a good job that scroll was available. If it wasn't, then I'd have problems. Although hilariously, I did have a scroll of Blizzard I tried to cast on him, and it created an actual Blizzard storm in this massive tunnel and killed me. I was like, what? Okay.
That's always a nice way to start an adventure, isn't it?
Well, it was to finish an adventure, and I was gone, flushed away.
Were you frozen to death? Is that what happened, son?
Well, he was wailing on me as well, he didn't care for the Blizzard, and in fact, it didn't do much damage to him anyway. It kind of wrecked off my health, and then he clubbed me in the face with his massive... I think he had a hammer. Just went...
What a way to go.
So yeah, I mean, that's my initial impression so far of Skyrim, and I will probably be reporting every week on gaming news. Kind of reporter. As far as content goes for Skyrim on the channel, well, let's just talk a little bit about the channel as well, because it's quite a long gaming news, I think it is now. Or is it? I don't know, it just seems like it is. We have just recorded a Trine 2 Is it Trine?
Trine.
Yeah, it was Trine. Trine. Was it Trine? Fucking hell. Well, I don't know why I keep saying Trine. So we just recorded a Trine 2 co-op, which will, when it encodes, it'll be up. So this will kind of it'll be up, and we'll be talking about it in gaming news. So it'll be in a past sort of thing, but whatever. We've just done that, so that's good. And what we're going to start doing is running competitions in conjunction with the Is It Pures. So if we do an Is It Pure on a game, we'll also get a code to give away of that game. Which I think will make it a lot better for Is It Pure as a series, because it's a little bit extra. It shows the dedication to quality, I think.
And also, it's something that actually it'd just be nice to do in general, to be honest. Because if you're not reviewing, but if you're giving an impression of a game and it's really good, it would be nice to just be able to say to someone, "Well, this game was great, and here you go, have a copy of it." There's not a lot of people that do that kind of thing to the level where if something's good, they give away a copy.
But having said that as well, games may be bad in our opinion, but other people might be interested in them. So I think there'll probably come a point where we will just ultimately do a giveaway for every single Is It Pure. I mean, that's what we'll try and do. We'll see how we get along with that. I'm going to have to say we'll have to focus more on the indie-based titles to begin with, because obviously we can't go giving away copies of Battlefield 3. I know we have, but we can't do that as well, because then that'd be extra. It'd just be ridiculous. Like,
yeah,
have a copy of this as well as this. We've just give this away as well. Oh, there's 100 quid's worth of games gone. That's quite mad. Because I'd rather spend that money on developing our hardware, enabling us to do extra things with the channel.
Yeah.
Obviously, all the other stuff we do as well, like going to the events, because we'll be going to I-44. I think it's the 22nd of November. That starts. I think we'll go down on the Sunday. We might do the Saturday. I don't know. I think the Sunday might be better. Get the finals in. But we'll do more. What we'll do for that is we'll do a lot more video content. Like, we'll go there. We'll just film us at the event, basically, and just film the main things going on to give people an idea. That's if our camera equipment holds up. It should. It's not the best in dark environments, but you got to make do with what you got. Make do with what you got. What else have we got going on? Oh yeah, on YouTube we are going to start changing all the. Essentially, what we've got at the moment is we've got the playlist. Well, playlist. So we've got like an Is It Pure playlist, and it's just playlist of the Is It Pure. They will probably still remain, but what we'll do is we'll turn each feature set on the channel. So each show into a YouTube show. So I believe you can subscribe to the individual shows then. So what'll happen is It Pure will be a show. Falling Off the Ladder will be a show. Obviously the StarCraft one. Frag will be a show. Flanking, Ranking and Ganking for League of Legends. Gaming News Weekly will be a show. And I think that's the lot. And possibly the Minecraft one will be.
Yeah, I think the way we're going with Minecraft, that should be turned into a series as well. Series.
Well, we've actually got some Minecraft as well, and as soon as I've got that encoded, I'll chuck that up on the channel. Probably be over the weekend. So that should be quite funky. Anything else, son?
There is actually some very good news that we still haven't said. That the channel is now 2,000 subscribers.
Oh yeah, yes.
In fact, since we started recording, it's 2,100 and something. 105 or 106. Either way,
it's going up good.
It's going up good. It's looking good.
Oh yeah, and also we're going to start doing hardware reviews as well. We've been getting positive feedback from hardware developers. I think we'll probably be looking at featuring some Razer stuff to begin with. Also, maybe some Gigabyte stuff and Corsair. Looking at the gaming, the gaming keyboards, mice, headsets, stuff like that. Giving you a video review of that, because I think that'll look pretty good. And I've used enough keyboards to know if a keyboard's good or bad. So yeah, I think that's all I can think of, son. Unless you want to do, I'll tell you what, do an advert for writers.
Oh yeah. We still need. We always need more writers.
Oh, actually, and I'll tell them about PR increase, because I'll love that. And tell them what it means.
the internet savvy amongst you, who know all about these page rank thingamajigs. We're now page rank 3 on the website, so that means lots of people will read your writings. Should you write for us, which you should.
Good lord.
And the channel, son. PR4, good lord.
But the channel's always had worth, son.
Infinite worth.
So there you go, people. Women Stylosia and Kirioff, and that is this week's gaming news. Obviously mainly focused on Battlefield 3 and Skyrim, not Oblivion. What a knob.
And not Battlefield 3. Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah, I'm crazy.
You're aware your brain is currently in Skyrim doing crazy adventures whilst your mouth goes. It's just
There's some guy in Skyrim. Yeah, people talk about him. You know, I'm trying not to spoil the story for you, but he shouted so loud, right? He ripped somebody apart. he ripped them apart, bloke, with his voice.
That was my character, didn't you?
he just screamed and he just fell apart. Anyway, this is going to the abyss. It's just. Well, I'll tell you what, we should do a new show, Stylos and Kirill. Just record the ourselves in TeamSpeak for an hour. He's just totally shit. Some of the things we come up with is just crazy, but
I think we'd lose subscribers if we did that.
We're out of here. Goodbye.